So we are 2 weeks into the future state of comics. Do we like it? Do we not like it? Let's talk about it. You know what time it is.
It's Clobberin time!
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. J Hood Creative here. Got my ringman, Coach Vic, and my manager, Alan Shell. How you doing, Al?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Clobberin time in the morning.
We are the best YouTube comic book show at 10 a.m. Eastern every other Saturday morning.
All right,
10-ish
10:02
p.m. Eastern.
I was within a minute. We do all right as far as that goes.
Yes.
Hey, let's shout out the few people who are hanging out waiting for us though. Captain Comics, good to see you this morning, Captain. Discovery Bay, thanks for joining us.
Just go.
And C Woodard, thanks for joining us, C Wood.
See Wood?
I didn't even have a chance this week to post a thumbnail on IG, so I'm glad people know that they can rely on us every other Saturday morning.
Ooh.
Ooh, you actually were frozen there for a minute.
Was I?
Yeah.
Let it go.
No, it's not that.
Let it go.
So, how you doing, Al? How was your
I'm
weekend?
doing great. It's been a month, huh? I haven't been on here.
That's true. You missed last time.
Oh, I know. I know showed Nick. He knows shows us. I know show him.
Take that.
Our power went out for New Year's. It was the best.
Yeah.
The best party ever. I had no power for 24 hours.
Man.
Oh man. You're a part of that group?
Yeah. Oh, I was special. The power line got ripped from my house,
Oh, wow.
and then that night, like the snow was getting into the transformer. I have a whole light show going. I was like, bam, bam. It was like when Obi-Wan was getting chased by Jango Fett, and they was shooting those things. It was going pow, pow, made that noise, but it had fireworks to boot.
Oh, wow.
I was more worried about my house burning down than coming on in the morning.
Checking on your homeowner's insurance.
Yeah.
Well, we are glad to have you back this morning, that's for sure. So, Future State, DC Future State.
You want to know about my week?
Victor, how was your week?
Good.
Okay.
How was your week?
My week was very busy. I got to tell you, chasing this giant-sized X-Men 1 is going to be a harrowing experience. I stayed up to midnight watching an auction go off last night. I thought I had a chance. I mean, I had a chance. I could have got it for the price it went for, but I didn't think the condition warranted it. That's a summary of my week.
Hey, he was so busy. I tried bothering him during the day at work like I normally do, and he couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, I had to put in like 3 hours of overtime last night.
Oh.
So DC Future State. Okay, let's start with Al. Which titles did you purchase?
I purchased
Okay,
Wonder Woman,
which ones did you read?
Wonder Woman, and The Flash.
Okay, Coach Vic, which titles did you read?
Oh, so far I've read The Next Batman and Wonder Woman.
All right. I did my homework and read 2 weeks worth. So I got in order, got The Next Batman.
And maybe that's why your week was bad. You read a bunch of Future State comic books.
My week was a sandwich between week 1 and week 2 of DC Future State. So I read the same books Al did. It looks like Wonder Woman is the common denominator between all three of us. The Dark Detective,
He looks like he's crying on the cover. Is that the way the whole book goes?
No.
Ooh, but also featuring grifters.
Yeah. And then Justice League.
Huh. Is there 2 Justice Leagues?
Not as far as I know. There's a Justice League Dark backup story in this.
Because I thought I was supposed to be getting Justice League. Oh well.
Yeah, you better take that up with your LCS.
I love my LCS. They're good people.
Okay, so this discussion will have spoilers, so I'm not gonna do spoiler warnings throughout the show, but be forewarned. Yeah, Disco's also looking for that GSX-1.
They should be chasing after
Again.
the Battle of the
Yeah,
Planets
oh my
shirt
God.
from Alan Shell's T Public pick. Look how beautiful that thing looks.
That is very cool.
Go, Speedy, go. Or that's not Speed Racer, is it?
That's, gotcha, man. Battle of the Planets. You are frozen again.
Oh,
Yeah, you keep freezing over here too.
oh, Battle of the Planet says G-Force.
Maybe it's my internet.
Or Transmute.
C. Woods chasing X-Men 94 and 101. It's so cheap, I probably won't getting them anytime soon. If you don't get them now, you might miss out. Let's see. Disco says, I read the next Batman, Wonder Woman, and Justice League. Liked them all, but hated how next Batman and Justice League cheated me.
Man.
My dollars only having half the book be the title.
All right. Since you guys just started, here's what I'm going to say. When I go to Popeyes, best chicken in the world, by the way, I'm sure St. Louis, place called Hodak's, Popeyes. I want to say get a bucket of legs and thighs. All right.
Okay.
$10. And they say, hey, but for $15, I give you some breast and drumsticks, some breast and wings too. Like, nah, I don't want all that. All I wanted were the legs and thighs. Look, all I wanted was the next Batman. That's it. I didn't want this other stuff. Outsiders and Arkham Knights. I just wanted the next Batman. So for a third of the book, you were generous with a half of the book. A third of the book.
Well, that's the one title that they actually put 3 stories in rather than 2 stories.
Yeah, I only want one.
So let's talk about price point and value of what you're getting. Okay. The main Batman story was 22 pages, which is your normal comic book length story.
Oh, okay.
What? You're shaking your head already. What are you shaking your head about?
Oh, my dad's trying to get through, and I'm telling him no.
Oh, okay.
Ain't happening, pal.
Okay, so for next Batman, $70.99. Okay, here's when we talk about value on a comic, I want to talk about
water.
And Marvel's guilty of this self-covering crap. Look at that. This is fresh off the shelf, read once. What is with all that warpage?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay, so 3 stories, $7.99. I didn't go and do the page count on the other 2 stories, but I believe they were both also 22 pages.
Yeah, it's a thick book.
And one thing I did like the fact, beyond the fact of they're charging us more for stuff we don't necessarily want. They're not interrupting the story by ads, which in Marvel books just to me eats me alive because they'll put ads in the weirdest spots. This book actually doesn't. All it's got is a 1-page future state and then an editorial page, and then of course inside front and back covers, but no other ads.
That's because I paid $8 for the book. Exactly.
So it's almost twice your usual cover price.
I'd rather pay $4, get the Batman story, and there's many ads that were in the Wonder Woman book for a ton.
Okay, so
did you give the other stories a chance?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay,
that's the purpose. That's the purpose.
I read it. I was just like, okay, we're gonna keep introducing.
That's what comics.
I was just like, okay, and then I got to, I was like, ooh, Jefferson Pierce. I knew who Jefferson Pierce is. That's Black Lightning. And I was like, oh, wait a second, he ain't really there. He's not there. Oh well, maybe I'm gonna read this one.
So like I
The
said,
outsider story, I guess it is.
the next Batman comes with an outsider story and an Arkham Knight story.
The next
And-
one does?
No, this the one we just read.
Oh.
This one's got a comment on the DCB covers. The cardstock for $1 is a must because the paper on cover A is crap. True facts. So I did read all 3 stories in this, and we'll get more into the main Batman story in a minute. But between the 2, I'm like you going in. I was like, I don't want to pay extra for stuff that I don't want. I thought the art in the Outsider story was good. I don't think the storytelling was good. When I say storytelling, I mean the mechanics of the artist conveying a story. I mean, if you look at it, figure by figure, panel by panel, they're pretty beautiful. But the way they tell, my camera B shut off. I'll fix that in a minute.
That's your problem. You got another camera going, and it's gonna.
I had it set up, but it times out. So I actually enjoyed Outsiders well enough that I wasn't like mad about it. Arkham Knights is a whole other thing. I did not like it. I did not like the fact that they have Arkham criminals like becoming a team, an organized team that is also fighting this guy that's horning in on Gotham City. So you kind of skimmed Outsiders and you didn't read Arkham Knights, is that right?
Well, I skimmed Arkham Knights.
Okay.
Of course, if I would have looked at the cover, first of all, I skimmed Arkham Knights, see what the heck this was, because I already saw to be continued on the Outsiders. I'm like, so like what, 5 pages in, it finally tells you it's Arkham Knights. It's like, oh, that's what the cover's about. But I was just like, I didn't really have an interest in any of the characters.
I'm gonna have to fire camera B. Okay, so I was set up to actually show some like the art in the books, but the battery ran out. And I have trouble with it. I've got another legit camera coming, so we'll take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Hey, your other camera, is it too legit? Too legit to quit?
No, that's D-Ronk. That's a whole other channel. All right. So
Sweat coming all down. Oh, never mind.
all right. Before we start talking about the next Batman story, let me ask you guys this. Okay, Al, describe the Hulk. Maybe in 1 or 2 sentences. Tell me what the Hulk is.
1 or 2. I'm gonna do more than that. The Hulk is a Dr. Hyde or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story.
No.
Well, the original.
Okay, well, but
he's a guy that gets a scientist that gets unwanted powers by a gamma radiation bomb in the old time, and he has to wander the earth like Kang from Kung Fu, doing good because he feels,
he feels guilty because of the power that he can't control.
Well, that and the fact that he was, he's making bombs, man. I mean, come on. So,
Okay. All right.
Now that's whatever. Different age. Now it's just he's a big, powerful green dude, and he's got powers, bro. That's what it is now.
All right. Coach Vic describes
It's a weird power fantasy now.
Spider-Man, teenage kid who got Spidey powers, who has the powers of a spider, and he uses them to help out, to woo women and to help woo girls and to help out his classmates.
Okay. I'll take on the hard one. Describe Captain America? Captain America is
I can describe Captain America.
Okay, describe Captain America.
Captain America was an experiment using super serum way back when the military was fighting the Nazis and they wanted to make the perfect soldier. Somehow he ended up getting frozen in the ice because Peggy couldn't get him out of the plane in time. And then he got thawed out years later. And He's indestructible, basically, except for he becomes old.
He's not indestructible.
He's not?
No.
Oh.
He just fights that good.
Oh, okay.
And he's got the shield that's indestructible.
Which he stole from Wakanda.
Okay, but why does he fight? What's his motivation?
Truth, justice, and the American way.
No, that's Superman.
Why does Captain? All right, tell us Captain America.
He is the personification of all the good qualities of America.
Okay.
Right? Okay, maybe not.
Clobberin, look at Clobberin Crew, baby. I love it. Clobberin Crew.
Okay.
Clobberin.
Good morning, Jeff Schultz. Thanks for that new name. Okay, Al, describe Batman.
A crybaby bitch. Oh, I'm sorry. They can't get over the death of his parents. Dresses up like a freak, and goes out and ruins property because he can't get his way.
Yeah.
And he has a weird relationship with little white boys.
Yeah. Oh, freaky dude, man. Like, get on with yourself. The only reason why he took on a black Robin or black Batwing is because he was getting pressure from Twitter. That's what it was. So he was about ready to get Me Too'd or canceled, and they were like, "Hey, get some diversity in there, pal." I was like, "What? You don't like little white boys?" Huh? I'm sorry. I have a preference. I like the feet.
Man.
Telling you, Bruce Wayne hanging out with Epstein all day.
Frederick Wortham, where are you? All right, Coach Vic, describe Superman.
Most indestructible being. From the planet Krypton. His planet exploded, except for he's always getting beat up by everybody, which I don't get. But no, all right. Superman is an alien basically who fights for. Since he was raised in Kansas, he's learned the American way and he fights for truth, justice, and the American way. He's your all-American boy. You're perfect. What you would think of, like they would say about Tim Tebow. He's who you want your daughter to marry.
Oh man, that is the.
He is Mr. All-American kid.
Actually, he is. Him and Captain America are the mirror of what we could be, type of thing.
The ideal.
To be. And he's also a power trip. So, and the thing is about Superman now. Well, Superman, everybody hates him. Everybody hates him. He's too powerful. We got to make him more understandable. It's like, no, man. If you got superpowers, here's the thing. If you got superpowers, you want to be Batman? No. I don't want to be Batman.
Well, he is a billionaire, but
I want Superman's powers because then I don't need nothing. I can fly anywhere. I can see naked ladies anytime I want to. I could melt people's faces off with heat vision. I could cool them down and then melt them again. I could lift anything. Man, give me a break. People hate on Superman way too much.
Batman's a billionaire. He can quit whenever he wants to.
Yeah, Batman's a crybaby though. Batman's a crybaby. He'll have to pay taxes and he'll cry about it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's why That's why Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne, they didn't want to pay taxes.
All right, so I'll describe Wonder Woman, or try to. Okay, so Wonder Woman is the daughter of the gods, kind of.
Wait a minute.
Is she not?
Modern stuff. You're talking modern.
Well, I'm just talking this guy's understanding what the character is. All right.
Okay.
She kind of transitioned from beachwear to kind of more armor, still showing plenty of leg. She flies an invisible jet. She's strong and she has the lasso of truth, which means that Whoever gets wrapped up in it has to tell the truth.
Let's get on with it.
Great.
It's a fetish character. The creator was a big fetish guy, and he was like, I want to be tied up. I'll tell you the truth, baby. Dude, the freak created
With
this.
bracelets, though.
She does have bulletproof bracelets.
Yeah, chains. And then when she gets bound, she loses her power because he was a fetish nut.
And even though she's from the Amazon, she's never been played by anybody from South America.
Until now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so that whole exercise was just to kind of work out. Okay, they in the DC Future State books, in most cases, they're taking new characters and putting them into these superheroes, flying them under taking new characters, putting them under old superhero names. So the exercise for us then is to examine them and say, okay, can I accept what they're offering and saying this is Batman? Okay, to me, the consumer, well, I say, yeah, that's Batman. I can get on board with that. Or is it they've not convinced me at this point? Can we make that part of the discussion?
Well,
I don't
as I
know.
mentioned before,
Yourself.
this is the first Batman book I've ever read.
Okay, have you? Okay,
What?
let me stop the show here. Say that again.
This is the first Batman book I've ever read.
Dum dum dum.
Now, I
yeah,
did
I wonder why.
I mean, I do have the current run of Batman. I just haven't read it because I wanted this to be the first one I read.
How many Superman books have you read?
Oh, this one that I just got here. Let's see. Oh, that's Superboy. No,
Okay. Okay, so earlier we're crapping on Superman. Oh, yeah.
in all the movies, get beat.
No good. Beep.
For the record, you
You
were
never read the
doing.
book. You never read the book. You can't complain about something if you don't read the book.
Oh, really? Have you been on social media lately? Everybody's got an opinion on stuff they don't know
I don't
nothing
care about
about.
them. I'm talking about my crew here. Talking about the Clobberin
Well,
crew.
here's the thing: Batman has stayed the same in all the movies. He's not really a friend of the law. He dances inside of all the law. The cartoon
Here's
stays the
the thing.
same.
You're saying Batman is just what's in the movies.
And the cartoon, he's a vigilante hero.
That's the impression. That's his knowledge. That's what he's.
But there's
been
stuff.
exposed
I'm
to.
just saying, like, well, I'm talking about the Superman stuff because I'm
Superman.
Superman. It sounds like
Superman.
you don't like Superman.
Superman is based on the perfect Superman, Smallville.
Nope.
A really good one, Lois and Clark. And the first movie with
You
Christopher
remember that
Reeve.
Saturday Night Live where they're like, "Hey, come look at this," and the cops are just like puking, and they go, "What?" And just shoot. That's what happens when you say Lois and Clark.
Comics with all people is bringing the heat this morning.
Yeah.
He's bringing his opinions.
Oh, you gonna block him?
Nah. I got any wrenches out there? I don't even know if I got any
What's
wrenches.
CPAP stand for, anyways?
Comics for all people.
Oh, okay. I thought I've heard other things.
It's a valid question.
No,
All right.
I love you guys. Love you guys.
All right. Okay. Since we all read Wonder Woman, let's start with that book. So for Wonder Woman, this is the only one that I read that didn't have a backup story. So it's a $3.99 cover price. They had a couple variant covers. And
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It didn't have a backup story. It didn't have a story. So that's the point. It didn't have a story at all, Jamie. So why even? Yeah. Why cry about his backup story?
All right. Can I tell you what I thought the most interesting thing about this book was?
Go ahead.
This ad here for "We Found a Monster." What is this?
Yeah. Wow. Hey, let me just tell you guys. Wonder Woman's not been like, See, when I was growing up, Super Friends, Challenge of Super Friends. Oh, and Linda Carter. Okay. That was my Wonder Woman for a long time. Then George Perez, when the post-crisis, he took it over and he gave it some structure, gave her some structure, gave it all some structure, added some cool stuff. And to every time they, you know, add on and add on and add on, and you know, you get new writers in there. They try to add something fun and cool. But this person, I don't know the name. I don't know.
No, that's the artist and writer. But the character has a name.
Oh, Yara?
No, I don't know about the. I'm fine. First off, this is okay. We had Coach Bingo earlier, right? He mentioned St. Louis. This is gonna get some of the Al Bingo. If you would have gave Future State to Jack Kirby, okay, this stuff would be the greatest. It would be so crazy. The imagination in each page would have made you plots, okay? You wouldn't have been able to move for a week. Wonder Woman, this is Wonder Woman, is the boringest thing I have read. It's not even a story. It starts off with her killing a dragon or the three-headed snake thing, and then she runs into an imp, and then they're gonna go to Hades. Okay.
By the way, I like that. What'd you say? What that's the nymph? That's what that is.
I don't know. It's
whatever it is.
Tiny.
I like the fact that she speaks that her word bubbles are red.
I was excited.
Right there.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get on this. Then they go and do an airport lineup to go to Hades. Okay. What effing play? Why would I care about this stuff? Well, okay, you watched Harry Potter. I'm happy for you. You're on a train station that leads to. You're on a train station that leads to Hogwarts. Okay, this is so unimaginative.
Hey, wait a second. While you're at the train station and she's waiting to get through the turnstile, I mean, I've only seen like 500 movies with the subway in it. Jump the turnstile. You're Wonder Woman. You got power.
Okay, there's another thing. Then she gets to the end. She gets to the end, and they have a sumo wrestler waiting and to get the. Why is he going to like? What Hades is this? Yeah, this is so stupid. This was so bad, and it was like, this is what you want me to buy? This is the comic book you want me to read? This is the number one issue of this great new thing you're gonna pop me out on. Man, get out of my face with this stuff.
And
that was garbage, man.
Lucha isn't going down to hell with all this because I just see I don't. Who's her sister, by the way?
You don't know.
All I know, man, is that I can't buy Future State. If they do this to Wonder Woman, so give me Wonder Woman. Listen, I'll tell you the best Wonder Woman, Future State Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, pal. Go read Dead Earth. That stuff, that's what you do with Wonder Woman, man. If you got the future Wonder Woman, that's it. She could run into Command D and all these characters. They are so of their own behind with this stuff. They like probably grab some indie creator and go, hey, you want to? I seen your webcomic where you had guides in a turnstile talking about getting their tires rotated for their chariots or something. That was so funny. This is Wonder Woman, man. You're trying to make money. You're trying to get yourself out of a hole. DC, your cover, you just want the variant covers. That's all DC's about now. They're about, oh, look what we did, man.
Well, that's why they keep selling off their property.
Hey, you can't slap a coat of paint on something. Okay, I can go and slap a coat of paint on my car. It's still a piece of garbage. All right.
Your new car?
No, my old car. So I don't care what color you put on that Wonder Woman. If you don't give me a good story, hey, she'll be. You know what? You know what she's gonna be? She's gonna be a variant toy, and that's all they care about. They're just gonna be in a future movie. That's all they care about.
TV show,
comic book. Ugh. Bleh. I've never been this like mad because tell you the truth, tell you the truth, Wonder Woman was the book after Dead Earth. I was like, oh man, Wonder Woman's got some stuff. And another thing that makes me mad about Future State is you had to read.
Brandy.
You probably had to read a universe before this, right? You had to like read a book like an advent because this is.
This is it.
No,
They're putting you in cold.
Well, actually, it's kind of what's happening after the Dark Knight. I think all this is like after Dark Knight's death metal.
Yeah, which they make sure to, in every book to tell you that in a little blurb on the title page.
A tiny blurb. How about a one-page splash that
Oh,
shows after the events of death metal? You know, I did that was those big giant books. I had the Batman versus Hulk. And on the inside page, it showed you who the hell Batman was, what he did to train, and then it showed you what happened to the whole Bruce Wayne, how he did all this. Yeah, guys.
That's what I like about the older books. They tell you which book to look into for a certain story.
Right, they had the editor's notes.
Yes.
So nobody read death metal. I mean, it's sold. Nobody read it.
Well, I did. Is this in death metal? I don't know the story.
1 through 7.
I heard. I mean,
I got the record. I got the cool record. They put out a record, like an album. I bought that at Best Buy once. I thought that was cool. But, bro, I'm telling you, man, I've never been so disappointed in a reboot. This. If you were putting this on movie, this is like the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. It is so chunky bad, man. This is like milk that has, you know, when they in the movies where they pour out the bad milk and it's got the chunks and stuff in it. That's this book, man.
all right. Well, what do you think about the art?
It's webcomic good. I mean, it's probably better than me. But I tell you what, the sequentials, I wasn't having it. I could not tell you where stuff was going. That Simone, or not the Simone, that was just. It looks like everybody's stuff. That's the way it is. They have a uniform way of doing it. I'll tell you what.
Pretty.
My biggest problem with the freaking sumo wrestler at the end, he's trying to get into Hades or whatever, and
he's trying to ride.
Establishing shots. You're right. There's no establishing shots. Where you are.
But she says you're supposed to know a little bit about is it Greek mythology?
Dude, this throws Greek mythology out the window, man. Come on. They ever had a turnstile, an airport thing? You know how cool that stuff is when you read that stuff and look at you got the carry-on guys. Yeah, come on. They just want to draw a big dog. Man, this is not Ray Harryhausen's freaking. this isn't anything. If you want me to hate on the Ray Harryhausen,
I'm like, how's he know him?
How do I know Ray Harryhausen?
So,
I know.
What's your opinion of the book?
Okay, so like we talked about earlier, it felt like he just dropped you off in the middle of a storyline, and it's just like, yeah. Okay, man.
It doesn't do anything.
Okay. Yeah. So we're still trying to go to hell, aren't we? And for some reason, Wonder Woman, she's like an idiot. Like I said, she says, keep your head down, keep quiet. Oh, I can't get through. Let me just break it and walk through. Jump over the turnstile. Hey, what do you mean you didn't tell me I needed money to get through? I mean, you know the little whatever she is going to give you some money.
Here's the problem I got too. The writer and the artist are the same person, right?
Well, it's Joelle Jones, and I know you don't keep up on like popular creators or anything, but she's been doing Catwoman for like 50 issues or something like that. So she does. She's not coming in from the indie world. I mean, she was an indie.
Sorry. I am a brute, and I'm a stupid idiot.
I'm not telling you
right now. If you're
drawing
the same, if you're writing and drawing, you must have drew something and go, oh, what do I put words here? What do I do? Get out of my face. Sorry. I'm just like, that is bad, man. That was just like, I think she drew this in like a minute or something. And then I got to put words in. So they
in the
made
ending scene, you know, where she disturbs the sumo wrestler, and the boat gets turned over, and the three-headed dog from Harry Potter shows up. And you're just like,
that's,
oh, this is the cliffhanger we're supposed to be excited about?
yeah.
Ooh.
Everything's so last minute in this book. It's and then
Okay, and then let's talk about this. Okay. Future event or future state is a 2-month event. Some books are publishing twice a month, but most of them are just 2 issues. So you're going to get 2 issues to wrap this story up.
Oh, so they're wrapping this up in the next issue?
Until they announce the ongoing series, which they already have. They said they're going to do an ongoing series of this. So,
they're doing it for this too?
For what do you mean?
They're doing an ongoing series for Wonder Woman?
Yeah. I don't know if that's officially been announced, but I've heard from reliable sources it's happening. So my take is guilty pleasure. I like the art. I'll probably buy the second issue. I'm not stunned by the story, but they're going to sucker me for another $4.
I got issues, so I'm going
art
to
growth is weak. I don't know why you're even turned on by it, man. That's just some basic comic. I don't know, man. It's just like, hey, I want to look at someone pretty much just ace. Like, I just drew this. I don't know what it is. I don't know, man. I can't get on board with you, bro, on that one. Whew.
You got some Latina flavor now.
That's what I'm talking about. Car in my car, man. Like, there's what part of that? What part of her was she not just Diana Prince with paint? Give me a reason. This character is different. Besides being a moron, and besides needing so much. I'm gonna break the thing and broke it over this.
Okay, well, here's my take on that. This to me, this is not Wonder Woman. The character that they're showing in this is not Wonder Woman. But if they just called this Yara Floor, I might have looked at it. I doubt if I would have bought it. So for what that's worth, I mean, the whole thing is it's a marketing gimmick, and it's DC trying out new ideas to see what they can do to fill their line with other characters. I mean, that's the purpose of this.
The problem is they're letting people just take over stuff, and they have no point. There's no point to this book. There's nothing that can grab me that's like, oh man, that's kind of cool. Like they need book runners. They need old editors or something to come in and it's like, well, you're not going to do this to this character because this is our brand. They're just letting, hey, you want to come in and have Wonder Woman, 2 girls, 1 cup this, or what do you want to do? This is just dumb. It's
they are releasing an Immortal Wonder Woman series, which does have the regular Diana Prince Wonder Woman in it. But I'm not a big fan of Wonder Woman, so that's not on my radar. I'm not going to pick it up.
I'm telling you, if you've read Dead Earth, then that's some possible cool Wonder Woman stuff.
I picked it up solely on your suggestion. So
you haven't read it, have you?
I just got it yesterday.
You can read all this garbage. You just wasted a week or 2 of your life reading Future State. When
the next Batman was a good story.
All right, let's talk about the next Batman.
Can we talk about something I read first?
Okay, you want to talk about the Flash? You're the only one.
Yeah, because we already had a crewmate say that he read the Flash. It's up. I think it was Seawood. I'm not sure. Said he read the Flash and he pretty much agrees with me on it.
Okay, what's your take on the Flash?
It's more hot garbage. It's boring. Okay, I'll tell you what happens in the Flash. Okay, so previously on the Flash that I didn't read, Wally West is a Speed Force vampire, and he's drained the rest of the Flash crew. And if you don't know who they are, sorry, we're not going to tell you who they are. They're all drained, and they're trying to stop him. So they got all the old Rogues Gallery weapons. It's like, this is a great idea for a cartoon or an Elseworlds. They brought back Dale Eagles Ham or whatever he used to do to JSA.
Mhm.
I like this stuff. But when you're drawing muscles on top of muscles, it's gonna be, they look too a little stiff. Anyways, he's a solid hand, okay?
Mhm.
They quickly just get rid of the rest of the Flash guys so they can just focus pretty much on Barry Allen, who, I don't know which Barry Allen this is. That's the problem with DC. Just like Three Jokers. Which universe are you in? Which universe are you messing with? Which Flash should I be paying attention to? Who is this Flash? Who is this Barry Allen? So anyway,
After Death Metal in DC, everything counts. So
At least for
okay.
the next 2 months.
But this is the number one, and it's like you're jumping in with the monster, the Flash Squad that's chasing down Wally West, who's sucking. You know, he's a vampire. He's Flash Dracula, and he's doing all this garbage. Let's see.
well, we just spent the last 15 minutes talking about Wonder Woman, so be sure to check the rewind on that. I agree with
We
you.
agree.
Well, you guys didn't even say you liked the art, or you didn't comment on the art. Al didn't like it, so
I don't
I
comment
didn't
on
mind
the
the art, but it was just kind of static. It's static art.
because
I
as
mean,
far as
it's
the
better
art,
than what I
I know
did.
bad stuff.
So.
You know what I'm saying?
What?
So what did you think of the new Flash character they introduced in that?
What was the new Flash character?
I don't know. I mean, there's a new Flash.
Is Wally
in the
West
Justice
the new
League.
one or Barry Allen the new one?
No, they don't do this. They don't do anything. I thought it was a Legion superhero Flash, or what is it? They don't explain the new. No, they don't bring there. No, she's not in the Flash.
Okay.
Not in the Flash book. I don't even know who that is.
That's weird because I mean they're like the Flash. This is the Flash, so we're putting them in the Justice League.
All right, let me go get my Flash book. So you guys discuss. I'm gonna. How do I get out of here?
You can
Just drop me out.
All right. So we'll get started since you and I read Next Batman. We'll get started on that, and we'll come back. We'll circle back to the Flash when he gets back. So
this is the book I've been excited about since before I started collecting comic books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tamara Bonvillain. She was one of my favorite colorists when we did the colorist issues.
Mm-hmm.
Color issues.
And this reminded me a lot of the art in Stealth. And now that I'm thinking hard about it, I think it's the same guy that drew Stealth, Nick Darrington. Because I know they are pulling in a lot of indie artists from other major publishers.
Okay. No, I do like the art in here.
So, but you're right. The Tamara Bonvillain, her art is, or her coloring is very distinctive, and I like it myself too. And the one thing that made me think, okay, they're really taking this trying to give Batman an indie spin, because the art itself does have a little bit of an indie look.
Mm-hmm.
Is the word balloons, the arrows that they're using on the word balloons are not arrows. They're like
basically lines.
They're like, what are the thin balloons that clowns used to like make animals out of?
Okay.
So it's weird that something like that pops out at me, and I'm not sure that's good service of the story if what I'm picking up on are word balloons.
I just think they have so much weird. Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily need the lines So now that I'm looking at that.
Okay, so as the first Batman story you've ever read, and all your other exposure to Batman has only been in movies and TV, what do you think?
Well, one thing I liked about this book, and I could be Well, I feel like they did a lot of they've done a lot of legwork to kind of set you up for stuff. Done a lot of background work. Like you get to see Batman, whoever he may be,
Mhm.
do Batman stuff, and then you hear about the mask law, about the vigilante law, then you see the Fox home, and you get the brother and the sisters in the coma for some reason, and then you get um, this other police detective who's talking to an ex-police detective, and they did something I thought was genius because I feel like they do this. They said, "I give you a piece of advice: get your fingers out the fence." I'm like, yes, because that was my first thought when I saw that. That's stupid, but no, I feel like they did a good job of laying down the background work and getting you prepared for what's happening. But I just feel like I ain't get enough of. Well, no, I think I was just mad because it was like I felt like it was a third of the book, and like if it were Wonder Woman size and that's all I got, I think I was totally happy with the story.
It is very much just an introduction. And again, okay, so next Batman is one of the books they're publishing twice a month. So we'll get twice as much of that story as we will everything else. So they've got, and like I said, there's 22 pages in it. So it is technically a full comic book story. So they've got time in this story to kind of flesh out.
Yeah, but I felt like if they would have done what they did as far as setting up Batman the way they did, they were taking the time and done that with Wonder Woman. Of course, I guess you said it's only 2 issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had to have a whole other issue.
So what they're doing is, okay, both these titles, we'll get to what Al's laughing about now. But both of these titles, that they've announced that they're going to do more of it later on. You're going to get more of this version of Batman, and you're going to get more of this version of Wonder Woman.
I think it's the next Batman Second Son.
And everything else that is kind of DC sticking a toe in the water to kind of read the reaction. All right, what's got you giggling over there?
I'm just remembering, oh man, this fake broke ass Shakespeare this person's writing. Man, Wonder Woman, okay? Sometimes in the tangle of history, the right person is born at just the right time. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start the story at the beginning. But I warn you, it will not end at the ending. Like, what the flip is this jargon, man?
Oh, that was my thought too. Like,
It will not end at the ending. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not going to be at the ending. This was garbage. A long time ago, on opposite sides of the globe, thunder gods sat on their respective thrones. I couldn't tell you how this came to be and what came before that. I wasn't there. And as far as I know, neither were any of you. So she's talking to she's doing the I'm talking to the crowd. Like, dude, like, who wrote this? Who is
Joel
this?
Jones, or I've heard it pronounced Jolie Jones as well.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. She's a beautiful young woman.
What?
I've met her before at cons. She's pretty, but I
don't care. Like, and then dude, the trope is so tropey. This is like, hey, I rolled some dice. It's like, all right, well, I'll use this trope too. The I'm in trouble and I'm calling for my horse trope, and then and the horse named Jerry. Why is it Jerry? Why is the horse named Jerry, man?
I did have issues with that. Like, Jerry was the best she could come up with.
You would.
Damn, Jerry, man. I'm like, are you serious? Jerry.
All right, let's.
No, I just wanted to draw a Pegasus. Call him Peggy or something like that. Jerry.
Okay, we're done with Wonder Woman. We got other books to cover.
I don't care.
You're supposed to be getting sad.
Gore wanted to know if Nick Darrington on the Batman book, next Batman book, is emulating David Mazzucchelli, and I would say he's very much influenced by him. I don't think he's
No, because that's like
not trying to knock him off directly, and the coloring is way it separates it further. But I'm sure the artist was definitely influenced by him. But he's got an even more indie kind of feel to his art.
Jerry was a race car driver.
All right. You have the inker, the penciler,
Yes, look at
and
this.
the colorist, right?
And you're doing it
Who's
bad.
the whole overall art design? Who's first?
The artist or penciler will draw it,
Okay.
and then it will go to the
Because I
inker.
was trying to figure out who's in charge of the art for the second story. They don't have this artist.
Yeah, because this team they've got
Man.
a penciler, inker, and colorist.
Just imagine what a person, even with half of what Jack Kirby could do, would have done with this Wonder Woman, man. This is silly. This stuff is junk. I'm ripping. Okay, the Flash. Okay, I picked up the Flash book. Okay, the art ain't bad. The art ain't bad. It's more colorful. I liked it. That's fine. But dudes wearing T-shirts. They're wearing their shirts. You can see all their muscles out of it. What are you, crazy, man? Anyway, no, I'm not ripping on any artists. These are great artists. They're tried and true. But I can't tell you what's happening. I don't like the idea of, I don't know. Nothing grabbed me that I'm going to get the next book. But if you want to really get me mad, get me this for Christmas.
I'll get to the trade.
Because here's the thing, I like Flash, but I'm not like the biggest Flash guy.
Mm-hmm.
You might have been at one time. But I was getting into Wonder Woman in Dead Earth, folks. It might be some you got some cliche in there, but it's more innovative with the use of stuff.
I'll point out to in the chat, Gorbidal and Varangian Vigilante. This might be a book you're interested in. I haven't read it myself. I just picked it up.
I could see. Okay, this is
very highly recommended from Al.
Meeting up with Command D. I think that would be great. The stuff she does with Superman and Batman and that, I dig it. I mean,
I think next week you need to get the Immortal Wonder Woman, #1. And you can compare and contrast the two.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to waste my money on future stuff.
Listen to Coach Vic spend Al's money for him.
I'm not doing that.
I'm
I'm going to kill DC Comics by not giving them my money. This is sad, though. This is sad because this is their Hail Mary. This is their Hail Mary, man. And
it kind of is sad to say.
I thought selling Crunchyroll was
Dark Detective. So these are the two books that I've read that no one else has. Yeah, but Al pointed out he's crying like a baby on the cover, and there's no explanation inside why.
Man, I'm tired of dudes crying and everything, man.
So
Like, dude
is
up.
he extra sulky.
No, I mean the trope in this book is the old everyone thinks I'm dead, and so what am I going to do now? Oops. And the artist on this should be familiar to Coach Vic. It's Dan Mora, who also does the art for what's the one with the Excalibur? The Boom publishes.
Once in Future.
Once in Future. There you go. A book I got into initially, mostly because the art and the story just didn't keep me. So, and it's basically the future state they're presenting here is essentially Neo Tokyo. I think it's more Neo Tokyo even more than like a Blade Runner future. It's not that dirty, but it is like a future Gotham. But I mean, art is very Jim Lee-ish, which
What's Neo Tokyo?
from Akira. That Neo Tokyo is this idea of all these gigantic, well-lit buildings in the background.
Oh, okay.
The story is, it's just Bruce Wayne on the run with no assets, hiding out, trying to keep away from I can't even remember what they call the big bad guy they keep referring to in this, but Peacekeeper 01 is like the head of the people that are hunting people with masks on.
Oh, so that one relates to this one?
Yeah, they're in the same town.
Oh, okay.
I like my women aesthetically pleasing. Did you see the Vigilante? He says that about. I think he's talking about Dead Earth.
Yeah.
So my answer was, so if it was a Batman, it'd be fine. But as a Wonder Woman's got to be beautiful. Now, I didn't think about Dark Knight. When I was reading Dark Knight Returns, I wasn't suddenly thinking, I like my Batman. That's why Dead Earth is it's not like as grandiose as Dark Knight Returns, but I feel it's more like when I was reading books in middle school, when I was getting into, it was Killing Joke and it was Dark Knight Returns. Those were the graphic novels I had, and then I'd get some other stuff. But to me, the Dead Earth is, it's not on par, but to me that's the way it feels. It's grimy art, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the super kind of polished stuff we see usually in books today.
So that's the thing. I'm not like, no offense, guys, but I'm not like 13 anymore. So I'm not gonna sit there and oogle over a comic book lady. But that's my take.
Really?
Take that.
You're not gonna oogle over her?
Why? She's got broken ass back. I like my girls with some stuff on them. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna.
You like them thick with 2 C's?
I ain't messing around with no Barbie doll.
The backup story in The Dark Detective is Grifter, and it's
What's it about?
I don't know how to rate it.
Let me tell you, okay,
I
this is
couldn't
my
be more
take on
disinterested in reading about Grifter. The art is commercially acceptable. The storytelling seems okay. Just flipping through it backwards. But
there are a lot of ads in that book.
What's that?
It didn't look like there's a lot of ads in that book.
There actually were a considerable amount of ads in the back, I believe. Well, maybe this is not the one, but it must be Justice League has a bunch of ads in the back.
Well, like Wonder Woman, I'll tell you that much.
Gore gets it. Read Gore's thing. Gore knows. That's
Okay,
right.
he's read it. Wonder Woman Dead Earth was very good. Now that would have been a great way to do Future State.
Yeah, and you could have had Command D in that baby. You know what I mean?
That's why I picked it up, just to kind of contrast two different takes on Wonder Woman. But as far as this goes, Dark Detective, so is Bruce Wayne, Batman on the Run. I don't have a problem with that. It's in Neo Tokyo. I have a problem with that. Dark Detective, there ain't no detective work in this book. So
Brian on the cover. I'm a detective.
They chose that title for a lack of anything better.
Try to get the old heads to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we're going back to being detective again. Yay!
So here's a book where I paid $5.99 for and got two 22-page stories, of which I wanted one.
I didn't like that one.
I didn't like the additional story, so they ripped me off for half that cover price. So
it's interesting. They're all these books have such a varied price point. I mean, you got 4, 6, 7, 8.
So you got the Wonder Woman has the $3.99 price point because it's just the one story. Dark Detective and Justice League have $5.99 because they have 2 stories. And so the next Batman is the bargain at $7.99. You get 3 stories. So you get $1 off the cover price. So the last book I guess we have to talk about that any of us have read is the Justice League. In this one, you get shots of them doing Justice League kind of stuff. It gives a little splash of these are the members of the Justice League, just in case you didn't see the cover.
Or you saw the cover, you're like, who are these people?
And then you've got this crotchety old dude that pretty much speaks for the audience and says, "These are not the Justice League that I like." And he is the member of a new Legion of Doom, who these other characters over here are also members, and they're all somewhat familiar but yet different because we've got Despera instead of Despero, et cetera, et cetera. So far you can't get any more cliche than what they're doing so far until the next page when the Legion of Doom are dead and the Justice League is there to investigate.
Who's that flying next to Superman?
That's Wonder Woman. You didn't know she could fly?
What's she need a jet for?
What does she need a Pegasus for? So
Jerry.
So the Justice League all assemble around this crime scene, and then everyone but Green Lantern leaves because she's the one that's the detective, and everybody else got better things to do.
Oh,
Honestly, that's the reason they left. They're like, I ain't gonna hang out around here. She's got it covered.
Is this one Far Sector Chicken?
Yes.
Like a better.
It's got the Far Sector Green Lantern in it, which to me is the only character I have any kind of intrigue or interest in. So they talk about how this Justice League is not supposed to hang out together after hours, but we've got Wonder Woman and Superman hang out after hours.
They ever get married?
No, but they are doing a Superman and Wonder Woman book, which I did not pick up. And then in the next page, we've got the replacement for Aquaman. His apparent daughter and the new Flash are hanging out after hours. But they're not. They all know they're not supposed to be hanging out after hours. They make that perfectly
How
clear.
come they're not supposed to be hanging out?
Because whatever happened to the last iteration of the Justice League happened because they knew each other's secret identities and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then, dun dun dun, Superman and Wonder Woman show up and say, "You're not supposed to be hanging out after hours," and they like zap them.
Like, well, what y'all doing together?
And then they damage the Superman's face and realize this is not really the Justice League.
Oh, brother.
And then so Superman shows up, takes out the Green Lantern in a page and a half, and yada yada yada. You can see where it's going. So this fake Justice League is taking out the real Justice League like really easily. They're just zapping them, and that's it.
So does this Justice League story turn into the Justice League Dark story?
No, that's a totally different story.
Oh,
And then
see, that would have been interesting.
And the thing is, they make perfectly clear that when the Green Lantern scans the Superman with her ring, it tells her it clearly is the real Superman, but obviously it's not. And then this happens. The fake Superman summons in the rest of the fake Justice League, and it turns out it's X-Force or some other bad
Hyper Clan.
So they hired Rob Liefeld to design this new super villain team because that's a total Image crew right there. Dun, dun, dun. Come back next issue to find out more, or stay tuned for Dark Justice League, which I had no interest in. It's got Zatanna and the Detective Chimp walking around.
Wait, so she's the magician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it turns out Detective Chimp has the demon in him. And there are two characters that I can't stand to read. I don't mind them as characters. I can't stand to read Zatanna or the demon because Zatanna, all her powers are talking backwards. And you try and work that out, it just takes you out of the story. And then the demon talks in rhyme. So,
I
I
thought about
can't-
doing a show and ride.
Adventures Ensue. I didn't read it. I don't care. Art is commercially acceptable. This handsome, strapping young man shows up with a Dr. Fate helmet and then puts it on, and I don't know what happens.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, well, that's discussion for another time.
I'm back. I was in purgatory. What happened?
Okay, see where did the HyperClan come from? This is totally new to me. I mean, did
The hyper.
Rob Liefeld do a run on Justice League one time and created the HyperClan? Like, so extreme. It is Dave Enrique. Thanks for coming this morning.
Oh, it really is a chimp. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Detective Chimp.
I like that little thing. That's a cool idea. So that's the type of stuff that they would do. Oh no, the chimp has the demon in it.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Okay, it's from a Morrison run. I have to admit that I've heard plenty of good things about the Morrison run, but I've never read it.
HyperClan.
Well, this has me
You got it
excited
going
about
on
the
there,
next one
BB.
going book.
Yeah, don't you want to read that?
I do.
Show the camera.
Oh.
Ads for the next issues.
Oh, more of Jerry. Jerry is the big stud in this. He's the big money for me.
But if Wonder Woman can fly, why does she need Jerry at all?
Or here's my thing: if you're part of like Greek mythology or whatever, and you're fighting 3-headed dog beast things from a hairy, why are you hanging out fighting crime? Why? What's your big like? Hey, I'm gonna go.
They pointed out. They made a point to say that they were the White Martians, so that all makes sense. So let's do this thing where we're making a new Justice League, and we're gonna bring in these really obscure villains
That's why I need editors now.
that hardcore fans know of, but the new readers don't.
The whole series is like that, man. Like, listen, like most of the people buying the number ones are probably just buying them to keep them in a package, anyways.
Well, they're not going to grade out 9/8 with these wavy covers, that's for sure.
But here's the thing: like, if you're coming in to be like, well, I haven't picked up a comic in a while. I want to pick up these number ones and see if I can. You can't hit the ground running, guys, and you do it so poor. They did it so poorly. This is poorly executed. It's just from top to bottom. The art is. I like a lot of the art. I'm not going to crap on all the art because someone might like certain parts.
That's how they got me with this book. They called it Storm Number 1, Giant Storm Number 1. Apparently, it's not.
You put Alex Frost on anything and people buy it. Like, I'm a sucker for that Marvel X or whatever book that they bring out. I get it, and I love the cover. And then I look inside, and I'm like, okay.
Hey, Jeff Schultz, go to TeePublic and look for Alan's Pop Shop, and you'll be able to purchase that exact T-shirt for yourself if you
Or
are.
you can go to my Instagram, AlanShell76, and I have a link tree, and then you can go there, and you can go to all my different sites on my link.
I will add that to the show notes when we're done.
Yeah. So,
can we talk about? I don't know. I should change my name to the Hater, as I told you. I destroyed Wonder Woman today. I feel bad because, that's someone's work, someone's baby, and I made fun of how ugly their baby is.
But you weren't alone with that one though.
But I'm gonna buy it because it's pretty.
What, the Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the second issue.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna buy it. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything else. I might buy Dark Detective. I probably won't buy that.
Done.
Okay, so the setting of both next Batman and Dark Detective, where they've got this kind of government overlord dude hunting down people in masks, and the trope they're playing up in Dark Detective, where it's this new well, kind of in both. A new kind of mysterious Batman is on the run. This is where it comes from. I mean, I doubt that those writers have read this, but years ago, Paul Pope did a comic called Batman Year 100, and it basically, in the future, Batman's on the run. It's a new Batman. No one knows who he is. I don't think they even reveal to the reader the identity of the Batman. He's not. He's not. It's hard to see on the screen. He's not Caucasian, but he's not black. He's kind of a nondescript race, and it's in.
I look black in that picture.
It's in a kind of a nondescript, chaotic future.
That's the way Paul Pope kind of he draws. If you've seen his Adam Strange from that Wednesday comics, his guys are just puffy.
Yeah.
And
so, if you want to see it done well, and a truly fresh, independent take on that kind of trope of a new Batman comes on the scene and we're going to be real mysterious about him and everybody's after him and he's the only hero in the room, there's a series to go chase down if you're interested.
Yeah, I've never seen. I used to hate Paul Pope, but then because I have the Wednesday comics, the giant size Wednesday comics,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate it. I was like, oh, but then I looked at the Adam Strange and I just fell in love with it, and I don't know. Of course, I didn't. I'm so weird, but DC seems to be done with DC.
B covers are always $1 extra.
I tell you what, thumbs down for future. This was going to be the 5G or what? This was wow, wow, broskies. I mean, really? This is what you were going to try to restart your universe with some people that don't know who the characters are?
I think they pared it down. They switched the things up a lot. So some of the stuff like Wonder Woman doesn't make sense. And, at the beginning and things like that. Who knows what they originally were going to do? I like to think that since they're trying to reboot everything again, that they would have done it better.
Like I said, the whole thing is a marketing experiment. It's trying to find things that are viable, that will attract attention, will garner sales, so that they can fill out the line with, cut out their lower selling books to find something new or different to put in its place on the shelf and try and get their sales up line wide. Everybody's going to come back next, in March for the regular Batman, the regular Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what they're doing with Wonder Woman, but I know they are launching is it Yara Lore?
Yeah.
They're launching the title with her. They're launching the new Batman title to follow up the next Batman to flesh out more of that story.
And maybe they're taking this 2 months to streamline what doesn't sell too, and kick all that stuff to the curb.
I mean, like New 52.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, I got this massive wound over here. Let's put a Band-Aid on it. Oh, look, this was a number 1 and another number 1. And then that pops off. And then you have to put more on there. I don't know. They're going to need some. They're going to need some, I want to say fresh creators, but the guys they're bringing on just like, they're probably got their hands tied. They need to stop worrying about integrating all these stories, okay? You don't need a Justice League. Make Justice League special. Maybe every other year there's a team up. Make that the big thing. And make Justice League the big thing. I don't need to...
From a fan storytelling point of view, that makes perfect sense. But from DC/Warner Brothers trying to market their IP, that's never going to happen. They've got to have a Justice League.
They keep putting on number 1s every other month, man. What's the difference? This way you can do a new season of every other. You build it up, and then in the middle of the month you put out. So you do the end of the year. Oh, come read Batman from September to March or something like that. 6 is a miniseries, and then during the summertime, put out Batman books or whatever, but one shots or something. Just it's getting.
PB
I don't know.
agrees with you. And I agree with the point. They do too many relaunches, both Marvel and DC, whether it's by line or by title. And I'm not as fed up with you yet. But I'm close. I'm only pulling like the regular Batman book. That's the only DC book I read consistently in years.
Me too.
But you've been buying it, you haven't been reading it. But that's the only DC book you're buying.
Ross works for Marvel, right?
Pardon?
Alex Ross works for Marvel now, right?
Well, he bounces back and forth. He works for whoever he wants to.
Whoever cuts the check.
Give him Future. They should have gave him Future State.
Yeah.
They should have said, "Hey, we'll pay you to do Future State." His ideas would have been they just I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. It's just done. It's done for me. I just took these.
Is there a DC title that anybody would? Well, I guess Strange Adventures is DC.
Yeah.
Take that back. Those two titles.
Okay, but let's talk about that real quick.
And I've actually been reading Strange Adventures.
And I have too, and we're just past halfway through it, and
we're losing steam.
Yeah, it should have been done. It feels like it should have been done by now.
Right.
It's a labor to read. It never rises to the top of my pile of being the most exciting thing I can't wait to get to. And they're trashing the character of Adam Strange. So,
yeah. Well, DC's trash, so it doesn't matter. I think they just need to keep every character separate.
I'm a bit over Tom King. His brand is not a brand that I'm gonna rush out to support, but I've heard good things about Black Hammer Seawood, and I think that's something I'm gonna pick up too. I don't know why my comments are not showing up there. Oh, that was Mastodon talking about Black Hammer.
Okay, to make a positive thing, has anybody watched the WandaVision?
Not yet.
Yes.
Okay, you might get trash for this, but
can't spoil it.
It's good. It's good.
It's spoiler proof, really. But it was entertaining.
Okay, how you do stuff. Hey, DC.
But you do need to do research after you watch the show so that you can see what it is that you saw.
Yeah, it's I love it. I liked it, and I like what's going on. I wish it was more of a binge show, like they all came out at once, because I'm tired of waiting for. I have no patience.
Yes, not everything can be Bridgerton or Lupin.
All right, so let's wrap the discussion up with this question, and we'll start with Al. Do you think that all of the best stories of these characters that we know and love have been told? Do you think there's anything better yet to come with these characters?
In these books are just all
just in general. Can someone come along?
I don't think they are. I don't think the best stories have been yet to tell, especially DC, because Marvel, I think, has. I know I get credit on this. We talk about Batman. We talk about how Batman doesn't have like long runs of good stuff. It's more like filler issues. It's like, hey, I'm fighting Cabroni today, and that kind of just like, okay, whatever. Where if you look at Spider-Man, like especially the early runs, it was like, ooh, what's this gonna happen? I don't think DC is really. I mean, in the night, like early, like post-crisis, I think they were at their best. They were running on all cylinders, man. You go back, the Superman stories were good. Batman was still kind of. It was just Batman. People buy Batman because he's Batman, not because of the stories that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman had her own flavor with George Perez, and then they maybe it wasn't selling, so they had to modernize it. But I think there are people out there that are gonna get a hold of these properties that are gonna make you take a second look and just be like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" But right now, I think DC is best suited for one-off stories. I don't think. I mean, I mean, as much as I crapped on Three Jokers, it still was better. Oh man, let me talk about Three Jokers, man. Why you making Barbara Gordon such a hoochie, man? She's sleeping with everybody. Leave her alone, man. They have her now. Now she's supposed to be getting in a relationship with Dick Grayson again. Man, guys, read your own junk. I remember continuity was important. Now it ain't anything, man. It's like, well, the last
everything matters.
Batman slept with her in the movie, and which is gross, guys. It's gross. It's like, yeah, I slept with my uncle. That's gross. Okay, that's gross. Batman and Batgirl should not be knocking boots. All right.
Okay, good. Circle back to your answer to my question.
Sorry. No, I don't think the stories, because like we're talking about Alex Ross. Yeah, if he can come in, do another Kingdom Come or do another do whatever DC, that was fun. The Justice book was fun. You know what he did. I know there's a big complaint about it or whatever, but I liked it. Stuff like that. Bring him in, and then they can go off of stuff he does, even though he gets crazy sometimes. But if you're going to do a future state that stuff is different, I would rather see it off of the stuff that he would have done. I mean, you already messed up Captain Shazam. You already messed him up, so you might as well bring in someone that likes Captain Marvel Shazam to design Captain. And dummy, but no. The story's not done yet. You gotta wade through just complete. You gotta be booby deep and poop. You gotta wade through that, because there's that. It's like faith, man. It's like faith. It's like believing in God. You gotta have that faith. I mean, you might be down all week. You might have the worst week, but He's gonna lift you up. So, boom, we're gonna get lifted up one day. DC's gonna find something that makes you be like, oh, this is why I've been here this whole time. But guess what, folks? Future state, isn't it? Future state is past tense. It should be done. Boom, boom, out the door.
Good morning, Highlight Comic Bro and Magic Lasso. Thanks for joining us today. I'd be interested to find out what Magic Lasso thinks of the new Wonder Woman book, because he's a big Wonder Woman fan. I agree with your take.
Thank you.
Gore Vidal has look at Gore Vidal.
For whatever reason, I can't get the comments to show up. So
it show up this late.
They take their time. There you go. I think writers who can write interesting stories are now putting their creativity into their own work for independence. Okay, so he doesn't think that anything better can be done.
No, he thinks that. Well,
with these established characters, that's kind of the question. So, you go ahead and present your take, and then I'll finish up with mine.
Well, kind of to piggyback on what Gord just said, I think you're gonna like this. You got a lot of guys out there like James Tyner, of course, Justin Patrick, James Patrick, Justin Richardson, and Ben Avery, who are writing good stuff.
You're reading old Ben Avery stuff because he hasn't published anything.
No, but the guy who wrote Finger Guns. That was, if you could take those guys and say, look, see, I guess this is kind of how we are with Future State, right? But forget what you know about these people and just write. Keep the origin stories and just write a new story involving these characters. I think you can do that. But the thing is, you have to find the right person. That's all it's about, is finding the right person to write the story. Like, I'm curious to see how John Ridley's going to continue to do Batman. Even though it's not your Batman. I'm curious to see how all these other stories are going to turn out that I get. Because I think the talent is out there. Of course, the talent's out there. Creativity is kind of down because of the technology that we're in. But I think there's writers out there who can do it. The trick is finding it.
Yeah, I agree. there's no, at the top, there's no editorial control saying this is kind of the direction the entire company is going to go, and bring in talent under that to write into that and is on board. And, much like when we talk about Marvel movies, we talk about Kevin Feige being at the top of the ladder there, where he's kind of overseeing the entire vision. The same thing can happen in comic book publishing. But you have to have a visionary, like Alan mentioned, Alex Ross. If you look at what Marvel did over the last 10 to 15 years, a lot of what they did kind of pulled from his work in Earth X and Universe X and all those miniseries that he wrote. Was it back in like 2000 or something like that envisioned a different Marvel future. Actually, Marvel would pull little bits. Whether it be character design or plot elements, they'd pull stuff from that to make you think that maybe that is where the future is leading. They never got to that point, but it just provided enough kind of imaginary spark that they kind of picked up on things here and there.
Well, and the other thing is, you somebody up there is willing to take a risk too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how I've often joked that we could do a heck of a job. Give us anybody, we can make a heck of a story out of anybody. Hey, we could turn Dark Detective into the most amazing book ever, right? The three of us could.
I would start with having a detective story in the book.
Exactly. See, genius. But the thing is, who's going to take that risk, right?
And it's not necessarily who's going to take the risk. It's will DC take a risk?
It's like, I can find a new guy. Or, hey, there's this guy out here. I can offer this guy $1 billion to just do it.
Yep.
I'll tell you really quick. It's because these guys are ashamed of being comic books. They're ashamed of doing comic books now. That's why they want to do all these other things.
No, I don't think that's the case, because John Ridley is the movie guy.
Ashamed of themselves. It
No,
should be.
I mean,
Out that Wonder Woman story, you just say it's garbage. You should be ashamed of it.
I mean, Reginald Hudlin, he's a movie producer. John Ridley, he wrote 12 Years a Slave. There's a lot of movie guys out there who love comic books and are willing to take the pay cut to get them done right. Now I say that not knowing, I know people have problems with Reginald Hudlin's Black Panther. I mean, Ta-Nehisi Coates, he's another. Why am I only mentioning black folks?
So the ones on your radar.
But they all love comic books and they want to see them done in what they consider the right way or a very good way. So they've taken pay cuts to do that.
I tell you what, man. Let me run DC. You guys would be sweating all over the place. Ooh, I gotta get that latest book. I mean DC crack, direct crack. That's what it'll be. You guys don't understand what more motivated crack. Oh my goodness. I'd be getting Daniel Kuhn in there. I'd be getting all the good artists in there. I'd be getting some of the best writers. And I'd get a showrunner. I get, okay, you're the Batman showrunner. You're the Wonder Woman showrunner. You're the Superman showrunner. It better be good. And if it's not good, I'm gonna have Vic come in and talk to you about St. Louis. It'll all be done.
Hey, then we'll have the #1 cover book artist of all time, J Hood Creative.
I want stuff to get done on time. I don't need 10 years.
True facts.
Have you seen those variant covers? They have nothing to do with the book.
I definitely also have different art style. I would have this is one thing they don't do anymore because everything kind of feels the same. I don't know why I'm crapping on artists because I'm not crapping. It's just I'm tired of the same paint by numbers. Like, okay, we got the Emily style. There should be like a Batman style. There should be a Wonder Woman style. There should be a Superman style, like they used to do in old comic strips. Like if you've seen Popeye, that's Popeye style, Do something like that. Make the families their own thing, so there's not like always. It's like I'm going to see why buy Superman? He's going to be in the Batman books, And give me a reason to care about Batman besides he dresses up like a bat, and make that cool again too. I'm tired of all the Robins. I don't know, man. Just even though I do like the look, I got a question. That X dude in Titans, it's Tim Red X, I think his name is.
Red Hood?
No, he's Red X. I think he's. You seen it?
Oh, I was thinking of the TV show. My bad.
I'm just saying he looks like the X from Dark Horse Comics. I'm just surprised he ain't getting sued from Dark Horse. But
Yeah, that's
anyways, but you gotta think DC and all those guys, they're only selling probably 10,000 copies of whatever it is, and they're probably happy even if they have garbage they're selling.
Right. So Al, what future state books will you be buying going forward?
Let's see. Probably none.
Okay.
I'm probably just gonna look at I'm gonna break my own, and I'm just gonna look at them online or something. I know I'm not gonna buy these because what, $6.99, $7.99. Okay. I'm not worried about it. Ethan Hawke playing a lead villain in the Moon Knight series. Have they even said who the Moon Knight is? Is it going to be Edgar Allan Poe or whatever his name is?
Supposed to be Oscar Isaac, but they haven't said
I
yet.
think contract talks might be falling through.
All right, Coach Vic, what future state books will you be buying?
The next Batman. And, well, I feel like I need to give this Wonder Woman book another shot. So, Wonder Woman.
You going to buy Wonder Woman again?
So
It's an unfinished story for me. There's
Hey,
issues on it.
Vic, I got this bag of dust that I'm selling. Would you like to buy this bag of dust? It might be good. It might not.
This book intrigues me here, though, too.
I'm somewhat interested in the lead story in Dark Detective, but I judge what books I buy by which ones kind of rise to the top of the stack, and the ones that settle to the bottom, that when I get home, they're the last ones I'm reading. Those are the ones I'm evaluating whether I cut them or not. And for a $5.99 cover price for getting only half a comic, I probably would not buy it at full price. I might look for it later down the road in a dollar bin, which I think that's where we're going to find all these. And the book that I'm going to come back and buy more of was Wonder Woman, because I don't know. The story's crap. It's going nowhere. I like the art.
What's the old saying? A fool with their money is soon parted.
It's only one more $4 buy, and I think the universe they're setting up in it is it reminds me of something that Jack Kirby would come up with. It's very imaginative.
Oh, he's having a piss now. Okay, he's joking. I was gonna bug it. Excuse my life.
I mean, Jack Kirby would come up with a Pegasus character named Jerry. Why not? And he would introduce little nymph characters. It's very imaginative. I'm not sure that he'd have somebody rip the turnstile off.
Just jump it.
On the way to hell.
Yeah, she's trying to fast track her way to hell.
Anyway, all right. Any last parting words from our panel here? Thanks for coming out and joining us this morning, everyone. Magic Lasso is still here. I want to hear what you got to say about Future State Wonder Woman. Jeff Schultz, thanks for coming. Dave Enrique still hanging out. Gore Vidal still hanging out. Hi, Alea is here. Thanks, guys. Al, any parting words?
Garbage.
All right. Coach Vic, what you got to say?
Read your books.
Read your books. Evaluate for yourself.
Yes.
Some would say buy and collect what you enjoy, and I agree with that. If it hits you and it's worth your money to buy it, no judgment.
I'll judge you. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time, everyone. Remember, keep your priorities straight. Faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time, guys.